We're in a forest. Is it time for a hike talk? This one about death, mourning. I've had a lot of time to process the death of my grandfather that happened about 2 months ago, and my mother 2 years ago. Maybe I can help you through a hard time, or maybe the hard time is happening right now and you need to accept their death, or even accept your own death, because everyone, including yourself, is going to die one day. Not even in the forest reaches of Westworld have they figured it out. And talking about Westworld, they had an interesting episode. That same sentiment is how I felt when I was at this dedication ceremony for the meditation garden my local church was having. My grandmother bought her a stove that's engraved with her name, and I could see that it was not only me and us, the family, that had grieved, but dozens of other families were there as well. That's why I think empathy is important in life, not just sympathy, like, oh, I'm looking down at you, you're sad, I'm happy, oh, doesn't that suck? Oh, no. Being able to empathize and say, I've been there, and it's okay to be there, You're not supposed to just stuff down your feelings. You got to feel them, because if you're not feeling them, you're running away from them. And you can only run for so long until your body makes you stop. And that leads me to a clip from the stream.
There's an age, Miss Valdez, where you meet an enemy you cannot run from. Time. When you reach it, you experience your body's betrayal from within.
Grandpa would always say, my brain is young, I'm a young kid inside, but my body just can't do the things I want it to do. And at the end of the day, is death not just the release of a human vessel, because the spirit needs to do it, and the host that it chose to do it with is not doing it anymore. I wrote it down better, so I'll try and... Is death not the spirit just discarding of the body it can no longer work with anymore? Because does your body not just become a prison to yourself? It's one thing to be in prison, but it's a totally different thing for that prison to be your own body. Just kind of a little sad, but also nobody lives forever. So is death not motivation to live? If you know that you're going to die one day, shouldn't you at least try and live a fulfilled life? Or fulfilling to you, it doesn't have to be fulfilling to any sort of code. Make your own code. Especially since I've seen people come down and help my grandmother out, and they're in their 50s, late 40s. All their body parts are coming apart, They can't kneel down and do tile work anymore. They can't do anything that involves shoulder movement because they've been cutting down trees for 20 years. So can't really do physical work for your whole life because your body will not be able to do physical work for your whole life. So while I was doing said cleaning, I had a lot of time to listen to podcasts. Joe Rogan is one of my favorites, and he was talking to Kevin Smith. And Kevin Smith had recently had a heart attack, and he was talking about death. And a comic book that he actually read when he was 18.
My mom had a heart attack. She was joking around with the doctor. She's like, you gotta hurry up, doc, 'cause I gotta pick up my mom and then went out. And so she died for a minute and a half clinically. So I was like, what happened? What was it? Every iota of responsibility I ever felt in my life was gone. She's like, I felt free. Like I felt instantly lighter. You've been in this best of all possible worlds for, fucking 60 plus years. Now you've seen a glimpse of the other side, which is better. And my mom said, the other side. And I said, what? You were there for like a minute and change. Why? And she said, I was completely fucking free. She was like, it was bliss. She's like, and if that's what happens, then I look forward to that again. I was just I was grateful more than anything else. I was like, what a fucking journey. Like, yeah, I'm 47 and it seems short, but fucking like, you gotta admit, you did more than fucking most people get to do. And I remembered, like, there's a issue of Sandman, which I absolutely love, Neil Gaiman's comic book series back in the day. And they represent Death in the comic book. She's a little emo girl, goth girl, wearing an ankh around her neck and shit like that. It was written in the 90s. And they don't tell you right away that she's Death. As you're reading the issue, you're like, oh shit, I think she's meant to be Death. She's ferrying souls over to the other side. She eventually gets into a room with this older guy who's like, who are you? And you know, she's like, I'm here for you. You know who I am. He's like, that's it? He's like, oh my God, I did all these things. I worked my fingers to the bone, and what did I get? This is it. What did I get? And she says, like a line that when I read it when I was 18, it was powerful. But when I was laying on the fucking table, it was constantly going through my head and made it all easier. Made me kind of at peace with the idea of dying. There's this line she says to the guy. She goes, you got what everybody gets. You got a lifetime. And as I was laying there, I was like, oh my God, I got a lifetime. Like that's what it was. Nothing more, nothing fucking less. And I did some shit in it, and now it's going to stop, and people are going to go on without you, and that's not terrible. Like, I thought I'd be fucking desperate to live, and instead, I had that weird, like, I understood what my mother said for the first time. If it's done, it's done. And count your blessings and be happy, and don't be a bitch. Like, if the fucking ferryman shows up tonight, don't fucking hold out. Don't be the last asshole at the party going, no! Like, just fucking pay the ferryman, get on the boat, and go. We'll see what's next.
Is the life in your situation just perception? If you think you're having a good life, are you not having a good life? Is it all not about gratitude? Being happy you're alive? And if you didn't die today or get shit on by a bird, is it not a good day? But at the end of the day, you already died multiple times. And was it that scary? You know, I think the Indians think of death as you live your child life, and then your child life dies, and you actually get a new name as an adult. I talked about if you replace every part of a ship, is it still the same ship? Well, that's the same thing with your body. Every part of your body has been replaced. So have you not died already? But at the end of the day, what good does hating a dead person do? You know, or any person for that matter. You know, it's just energy that you could use to be doing something else. Anything else. And, you know, you got to thank them for what they did. And forgive them for what they didn't. And notice that they're only a human being. I know you might have thought of them as superhuman growing up as a kid. But everybody's just a human being. YouTubers, celebrities, superstar actors, everybody. Baseball players. Doesn't matter who they are. Everybody's a human being. Unless we run into aliens somewhere down the line. Just keep swimming, dude. Just keep chugging along. Keep living. Don't rage quit. Don't you dare rage quit. Life is worth more than that. You can get through it. And once you're through it, you'll learn to take it as power. Not as a victim. You gotta be the victor, not the victim. I know it's fun to play the victim card and to get attention like that. But really, you need to take it as power. And use your own fear against itself. Use your fear as motivation.
You know, anytime I experience a loss of life, or someone I cared about or knew goes away, it just makes me really stop and think of what matters the most. Like, what is most important? Only thing that matters is my relationship or your relationships with other people. Something that I say a lot, and something I really believe in, is that a life not shared is a life not lived. If you don't share your life and share your happiness with other people and let other people into your life, then are you really living? Then what's the point?
Interesting way that Christopher Ryan ends his podcast all the time is with the song Smoke Alarm by Carsey Blanton. About the same topic, you know. Everybody's gonna die someday, so take a listen to that. Casey Neistat threw out some Flaming Lips song around the same subject.
This song's called Do You Realize by the Flaming Lips.
Hope I helped. Hope you can help if you want to. And I'll see you in the next one, dude. Stay chill.
Why do you waste your time? Think about your reputation. Trying to meet an expectation.